Thank you, Linda. So that last little ping pong bit was actually a dig at my good friend Ryan Bell, who's going to be speaking a little bit later today. He beat me actually on this floor yesterday, and I'm still a little bit sore over it because he took $5 from me. So anyway, thank you again, Linda, for the great introduction. Like she said, my name is Marc Gawith. I am the business development manager for Rightside.co. Basically, Rightside is a domain name registry. We own 40 new domain name extensions. So we all are familiar with ComNet, OrgBiz, the traditional ones that have been around for 25 years. Our company has gone out and acquired 40 new domain extensions that are alternatives to .com. .live being the one that we're focused on today. We're here to talk about live streaming. We're live streaming this event at iSugar.live. I'm also broadcasting it at Mark.live, which is my own domain name that I own and use for my Periscope account. So thanks again, Linda, for welcoming me and the kind words that you said. So about .live, let's just get into it, right? So .live has been around for about 8 months, give or take a month. I forget exactly when it went public, but around November. In that short period of time, it has become our fastest growing domain name extension. So we have 40, some of them have been around for 2 years. This one's been around for 8 months. It is now our fastest growing domain name. We've sold more premium domain units with .live than any other domain extension that we own. We actually just had our 2 largest .live domain sales last week, I believe, both totaling 6 figures each. So 2 domain names sold, in all for over $200,000. It hasn't been released to the public yet, but there's probably going to be some information shared soon as far as which domain names that those were. Also, another key statistic for .live is in the 8 months since we launched the domain name, it is in the top 50 as far as total domain sales. So .com's been around for 25 plus years. I forgot exactly when it was launched. There's over 100 million .coms registered. So in 8 months, we're in the top 50 as far as domain names registered for the .live domain extension. So very powerful domain name. It speaks directly to the live video audience. Never before has there been a domain name that's created specifically for the live content creator community. So great tool for personal branding. It's a great tool for call to action. It's a great tool to use for campaigns, variety of different ways, right? So what does .live mean for us as a community of live creators? What can it do for you? What can it do for me? What can it do for a person? What can it do for a brand? So ultimately, the .live domain, I think we break it down into 4 different categories. The first one is personal branding. There are a ton of live streaming apps, live streaming platforms that are available to use, most of them being free of charge. However, when you're sharing a Periscope broadcast, when you're sharing a Facebook broadcast, you're constantly sharing that company's name. Facebook does not need help promoting their brand. Twitter, Periscope does not need help promoting their brand. You as a content creator, you as a small business, anyone that's getting started in live streaming and wants to share their message, they need a short, sort of memorable place to send people, right? And it works for personal branding. So myself, I use Mark.live. I brand my Periscope channel with my own name. I went out and acquired Mark.live. I paid $125 for it, mostly because I had a little bit of FOMO. You might hear Mr. Brian Fanzo talking about that a little bit later. For those of you that don't know what that means, fear of missing out. So I actually got to the point one day in the office where I was like, I need this domain name. I know my wife is going to be like, why is there a $125 charge on our credit card for yet another domain name? But I had to have it. So I use Mark.live to personally brand my Periscope channel. This is being done across the board, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, YouNow. For those of you that aren't familiar with YouNow, they're actually based here in the city. It's a personal broadcasting platform for teens, essentially. Their kind of target demographic is 13 to 18-year-olds. They're the .live domain has become very, very popular for that specific platform. These kids are loving having their own user handle .live, their name .live. A lot of them have these kind of creative usernames, especially like on Twitch, the gaming platform. So it gives people an easy way to share their name without having to build out a website. The second thing is a call to action, and I've obviously mentioned it briefly, but sharing periscope.tv/Marc Gawith, which is my full Periscope URL, is not a good user experience. It's not a great call to action. It's not very memorable. But if I say, hey, go to mark.live to find me doing live streaming wherever, it's a great call to action. It's memorable, it's short. The great thing about .live domains is they're available. So .com, once again, 100 million plus domains registered in that space. The ability to get a domain name like mark.com is going to cost me 6 figures. It's not going to be super affordable. There's a lot of money to be made in the domain industry, but I don't have 6 figures to buy mark.com, but I did have $125 to buy mark.live, and it means more for me in the live streaming community than .com does. It actually tells a story for when someone is going to mark.live. They know exactly what they're going to get when they get to that site. It's going to be a live event. It's going to be something that's live streaming, something that's happening in the here and now, right? So we think that .live is perfect for live content creators, and it gives them a great call to action when they're sharing that out on their Twitter accounts, Facebook, wherever, right? Or if they're sending out an email. It's so easy to remember. Person doesn't have to jot it down. Kind of the third thing that we talk about with .live domains is portability, and I think this is huge. When I mention portability, there are 50 plus live streaming platforms out there, and I kind of like to talk about Meerkat with this one. For those of you that know what Meerkat is, about a year and a half ago at South by Southwest, it was the big thing. Everyone was using Meerkat. People, brands were jumping on board. All kinds of people were creating an audience and a following on Meerkat. Does anyone know where Meerkat is today? They're not a live streaming platform. So if you've built an audience and a following on Meerkat and you didn't have a memorable domain name that was portable to take you to the next platform like Periscope, those people don't know where to find you. So it gives you that portability. It gives you the ability to go from platform to platform, especially as they're all competing for our eyeballs, right? They're all in the same space. There's not a lot of innovation that can happen in live streaming. I mean, yeah, you can add additional people that to come on. It can be one to many. It can be two to many. Blab. I don't know, for those of you that are familiar with that, it gives you the ability to have multiple people talking at once, sort of like a talk show, if you will. So there's tons and tons of these platforms that exist, and they're all competing for our business. They're all competing for our eyeballs. So as they all sort of get cannibalized by each other, we start to see some of them get swallowed up or go away because they just can't make it. Having a .live domain name that you can have consistently shared and take that wherever you go is the perfect way to keep that audience and take that audience with you wherever you go. So the final thing that we talk about with domains, .live domains specifically, what they can be used for is campaigns. Recently, we did a deal with the largest Vine star. His name is Thomas Sanders. I didn't know him before we did the deal, so if you don't know him, don't feel bad. He has 8 million followers on Vine. We used thomassanders.live as his campaign URL to give away some tickets that our company bought. We wanted to get the .live domain name out there. We wanted to share it with the world. He has 9 million followers on Vine, so we thought, what a better way to at least get the word out, raise some awareness. In 2 days, the course of a weekend, that domain name was seen over 2 million times via his Vine shares and Twitter shares, and he had 7,500 signups for the VIP tickets. So not trying to say that the .live domain did that for him, not trying to say that at all, but it gives you an easy way to have a memorable domain name to drive people to without cannibalizing or using up your .com, muddying that up if that's your main call to action. That kind of takes me into my final point is a lot of people ask me, well, I have a .com, I have a .org, I have a .co for my main website. Why do I need another domain name, yet another domain? My answer to that is, if you're Coca-Cola, if you're, let's say, Applebee's, because Applebee's has kind of been doing some live streaming stuff. If you're Applebee's and you have applebees.com as your main site, it probably has some information about, your investor news as a public company. It probably has information about where to find all your stores, all that stuff, the stuff that pertains to a corporate entity. Applebee's is not probably going to want to put a live stream on their .com site and muddy that up. So use applebees.live as the main domain. It's consistent with their .com, so it's just a different domain extension. They can share it off of their main .com site, but the live content lives on applebees.live. So, amazing, amazing ways. Obviously, you can tell that I'm very passionate about this. It's the business that I've been in for 11 years. Actually, there's another very passionate person about domain names in the room as well, so we kind of share some of that. But appreciate you letting me come and talk to you today. If you're interested in .live, getting your own, I'd be happy to hook you guys each up with your own .live domain before you leave today. Share my contact information with you. We can follow up afterwards, and I can get you guys hooked up. So appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I'll turn it over to Linda.